Are we on? I guess so. I would hope so. One would imagine that we are on now. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the program. It is Sunday. We are live. It is me. Things are happening. So many things. No, nothing's happening. Nothing's going on. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. Let's get a look at these. They're from Christine. A wonderful gift that I opened last week, amongst many other things. They're gummy bears. They're fun. They're nice. They say I'm here to party, and I'm chewy, and I'm colorful, and I'm full of hope and joy. A little long. But thank you for that. I also want to say, if you have any decency in your heart, in your home, whatever, go to AW's YouTube and watch the latest AW with Bayne and Penelope Ford. It is easily the most destructive episode we've ever done. And that's, I would say, physically and emotionally. I don't know how Megan likes it. I don't know how Penelope likes it. That remains to be seen. But people seem to be enjoying it. And I guess that's the important thing. So go watch, go like, go comment, go share. Next week, there is no Hey W because it's all in, which means so much. Which means Friday, I'll say because they haven't announced it yet. Friday morning, noon, brunch time, before noon, Renee and I will be doing our Starcast show. So we have Wednesday Dynamite, Thursday Live Collision, Friday is Starcast, Saturday's all in the afternoon, high noon. And I believe Texas time, 0 hour starts at 12, which is 1 Eastern. Don't put up a graphic, fellas. It's okay. And it'll be Renee and I and Jeff Jarrett, unfortunately, and many special guests. So hang tight. It is a 2 hour, 0 hour. Shit's going to get fucking nuts. Real wild stuff. Spot Center said, I saw the team of Gummy Boar wrestle last night. Coincidence? Yes. Sean said, hey, Occultist morning, RJ. James said, good morning, everyone. Mia said, good morning. Ash said, good morning. Hello, friends. Had a nice 4th of July weekend. I'm out on the trail scooting through Cleveland. Scooting through Cleveland. I do want to say I was in the latest episode of Tights and Fights, which was wonderful. I also did Roxy Hayes' podcast, where I realized, and this is sprung off from your 4th of July comment, that I'm really, really, really against celebrating anymore. Not just 4th of July. There's certainly plenty of reasons not to celebrate that. But birthdays, pride, and I'm not against it. I don't participate in the celebrating. I don't know if there's a reason to go out in the street and go, woo. I don't have that in me anymore. Any kind of celebrating for any kind of reason. It's not the event. Pride, I want to go back and make sure this isn't an anti-pride stand. It's the celebrating. I support. I observe. It's just the woo. I just don't have it. Leo said, have you had breakfast? I had some protein pancakes this morning. I started hot. Mike said good morning. Cam said good morning. Saeed said good morning. Miss Hannity said good morning. Prisma. James, I've lost my place already. Kyle said I'm 10 seconds late. Fuck you. Prisma said, gentle reminder to turn on all messages. Christine said good morning. Emmanuel said, favorite popcorn movie, Jason and the Argonauts or Spaceballs? What a cash went to that is for me. Jason and the Argonauts I love because my grandmother used to put it on because she wanted us to see the work of Ray Harryhausen and the claymation. And it's nuts. It is really, really a nuts movie. There's so much shit that goes on in it. Spaceballs I also love. Spaceballs, I've seen Spaceballs more. So for the argument for the category of popcorn movie, I would give it to Spaceballs. But I do love Jason and the Argonauts. So I feel like only me would have a tough choice choosing between Jason and the Argonauts and Spaceballs. Darnell is here and said, squats. Darnell has a real talent for appreciating men's asses. And I think that's just especially someone in the suit business, real good eye for people's lower torso thickness. And I think it's great. Leo said, do you ever get annoyed when you meet people in the UK and they call you mate all the time? Yes, I do. It's very annoying. Efren is also here because this wasn't gay enough. Right after my anti-pride celebrating rant. Mia said, I love those gummy bears. My Sandy said, were there any injuries from the shrapnel during this week's hay? Yes, there was. My loafer, there was a giant piece of glass in my loafer. My knees were bleeding. All the other crew ducked and covered. So it was quite ridiculous. Molly said, I think these underoos are my favorite. Purple Fish said, how many of the thrown items didn't break? I thought I heard at least 2. They were all broken. They all, in some forms, I don't know if they all smashed to a million pieces, but a lot of it did break. She's got a good arm, that girl. Leo said, do you like Texas toast? What is it? Christine said, I'm already stressed about StarCast and All In. Yay. Cam said, so I take it Megan Bayne wasn't convinced of your phone acting skills. Or maybe she just didn't like who I was talking to. Mia said, I'm not happy the Kingdom isn't on Supercard of Honor. They should have gotten their rematch for the tag team titles. Don't tell me. I'm not in charge of it. Miss Sandy said, are weeks of pay-per-view events stressful or you're too busy to worry? This week in particular is extraordinarily stressful because we have the StarCast show. There's a couple of special edition hays I'm aiming to grab while at StarCast. And a 2-hour, 0 hour is double the work, ultimately. So it is quite stressful. Porcelain Pumpkin said, yes, here on this time. Hello, Hub. Everyone's doing well. Mia said, I didn't celebrate the 4th. I just relaxed in my house. It rained all day here in Florida. I enjoyed my 3-day weekend. I don't want to go back to work tomorrow. Leo said, what are protein pancakes? Some horrible bag of powder you got from some fitness website? Oh, Leo is the real pancake traditionalist. All pancakes must be the traditional. It's got to have mix, and it's got to have flour, and it's got to have olive oil, or else I'm not going to eat it. I'm sure your diet's fucking fantastic. Kyle said, new episode is a fucking ripper. Okay. Nomic said, greetings and salutation. Nails said, happy cultiversary to me. Can I get a woo and a celebration dance? Woo! Did that work? And now I'm out of breath. James said, Megan Bayne brought the ASMR for this recent Hey W episode. If you love thing smashing, you're going to fucking love that one. Sociara said, good morning. This is day 5 of my dog being freaked out every night due to neighbors shooting fireworks. So here's a question. It feels like only in the last, I don't know how long I've been alive, 15 years that we realized dogs hate fireworks. Is it just me realizing this? I'm not blaming it on the dogs. I'm not saying the dogs are making this up. I feel like as a society, we've only realized it really recently. Nomik said, I remember going to the drive-in to see Jason and the Argonauts. God bless you. That must have been mind-blowing. Beth Sandy said, what's your opinion on the Spaceballs sequel? I'm not crazy about Josh Gad. However, Mel Brooks is in. I mean, there's been a couple deaths since then. It's great to see Rick Moranis back in anything. I'll probably support it just on that alone. I hope George Weiner is in it. Joan Rivers is also dead, obviously. Bill Pullman looks great. Dick Van Patten is no longer with us, although his pet food still is. And should it be called Spaceballs 3, the search for Spaceballs 2? Yes, unless it's Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. W. Stein said, how would you book an AEW all-women's pay-per-view? Part of me hates the concept. I would just like more women on the regular pay-per-views. They're more than is successful enough to just be on there. I don't know if we have to, because I feel like you can't have a men's only pay-per-view. That would be really weird. I think they should just be on the main shows more. How would I book it? I would also love if there was like an episode of Collision that was like all women and whatever, just as like a nice framing. But I don't know. How would I book it? I don't know. We certainly have enough titles now across AEW and Ring of Honor. We have 5 women's titles. Nor do we need titles to have matches on the pay-per-view. I just hope for a better integration in general. We have enough good women. It should not be a problem. Kyle said, FYI, RJ, your audio is crackling, mate. What do you want me to do? What would you like me to do? Why are you calling me mate? Gerald Fenderson said, good morning. So much broken stuff today. Leo said, some kind of garlic toast. Efren said, Hyacinth Bouquet would not have been pleased that drinkware was broken on AEW. I personally had to pay some money for that. So, yeah. Leo said, are there going to be matches on 0 Hour? I would assume so. Darnell said, I celebrated the 4th the same way I do every year, watching Independence Day, and I know what you did last summer. Ugh. Independence Day, I think is I hate saying things aged poorly, but when I was a kid, it was better than the way I think about it now. To me, Mars Attacks now is like the better film, what it should have been. I would have liked Mars Attacks with the Independence Day budget, would have made me more happy. Mia said, top 5 sitcom theme songs. Can we see Sylvia? You can't see Sylvia. She's upstairs. I'm not gonna go get her. She's fine. She's gonna be fucking 21 in 2 months. Not gonna bother her. Top 5 sitcom theme songs. Night Court's up there. Perfect Strangers is up there. Maud. Oh my God, Alice. There's a new girl in town and she's feeling good. And I guess we just got to go with Cheers to make it simple. And will you be, hint on the outfit you will be wearing at All In? Yes. Renee's going for red. I decided to opt for white/cream, and we're hoping Jeff Jarrett wears blue. Only because those are the all-in colors we seem to be using this year, which I think we always kind of use some combo of that, and it has nothing to do with America. Darnell did say, go America. Harley has a request because, yay, tiny man trapped in your microwave. He's your hostage. He tried to escape. Stop him. This is so fucking stupid. I don't know. I mean, there's some. Here's a picture of Sylvia. If anyone's interested. Oh my God! Oh shit! Oh no! Oh, where did he go? Hold on. Everything's fine. Everyone, calm down. We're gonna. Shit. It's going to be fine. Just looking around for anything. It's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Aha! It's exactly what I thought. Where the fuck did you think you were going? And what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to have cold food all day by myself? You have one job. That's your job. And may I add that you get paid very well for it, okay? It's coming out of my pocket. I'm paying your fucking salary. You're not paying mine. So you get back in there and you cook. You heat things up. You make the water warm. You do what I ask you to do for as long as I tell you to do it. Got it? Sorry you all had to see that. That was really, really bad. I apologize. Darrell said waffles are better. Flavor pockets. They're not pockets. They're divots. They're not like calzones. W. Stein said, RJ needs to be the one to unveil the women's tag team championship belts. Yeah, yes, I get to pull the sheet off. John Woodman said, hey, beautiful boy, which is what the librarians used to call me. That reminds me, while I press my coffee, on my flight home from California this week, I ran into a friend from high school. He was a couple years older than me, but we knew each other, and we played what's this person up to now? And we realized, like, for an arts high school, for the drama program, there was not enough. I guess we were surprised at the amount. There was not enough famous people or people who went on to do things in the business. There's a few, but there wasn't like. And apparently, this girl we know, she wasn't in my grade, ended up having Elon Musk's children. She was one of the harem of women. Not his wife, one of the other ones. So that's fun. And then that really supersedes anyone's level of fame from my high school easily. So it was nice. Darnell said, dropping names. I've dressed Rick Moranis and Josh Gad. Okay, I want to know about dressing Rick Moranis. I want to know everything about it. Josh Gad, don't mention it. W. Stein said, are Canada Day fireworks as wild as 4th of July fireworks? No, I didn't hear shit. John said, can we do more jokes? Brother, tell Tony to make me be a writer. I'm a nightmare. Making quite a case. Porcelain Pumpkin said, with there being a new Spaceballs, when do we get Robin Hood Men in Tights 2? I think we can absolutely do another Dracula Dead and Loving It. I feel like that's a movie that's underappreciated. I think Steven Weber's great. Amy Yazbek is great, also in Robin Hood Men in Tights 2. Leo said, I heard we're getting women's tag belts. I hope AEW can do it properly because WWE women's tag titles are flipping horrible. Porcelain said, also, Harley, you're as funny as hell. Love ya. Mia said, is it true? That is true. You have enough men and women that should be on both shows. Messani said, Daphne, Zuniga, and George Weiner are confirmed for the Spaceball sequel. Well, then I'm in. I have no choice but to be in. So Sierra said, I think the fact that fireworks have gotten bigger and boomier have a lot to do with pets freaking out. My dog doesn't care about Roman candles and sparklers. Interesting. Leo said, just 2 hours of RJ, Renee, and Jeff, no matches, all chit-chat. Mia said, Harley, does Australia have an Independence Day? She doesn't fucking know. Elite Easy E said, God, I loved keeping up appearances on PBS as a kid. Me too. God bless PBS. Let me post. I have to get more involved in public broadcasting. So if you go to pbs.org/donate, you can enter your zip code or state, and it'll give you a list. So, for example, I typed in New York. 13 PBS is what comes up. And you can donate and look at the gifts. You can go to 13.org. They have the best of the 60s, 4 DVDs, 2 CD set. All new rock, pop, and doo-wop, 7 DVD, 2 CD set. They have Deconstructing the Beatles socks. They have Deconstructing the Beatles 11 DVD set plus socks. Oh my God. I would love, see, this is what bothers me. And this is why I want to say to PBS, let me help you. It's the website, but I 50 Years with Peter, Paul, and Mary, 4 CD, 1 DVD set. That's not bad at all. A beer tankard. I wanted a shirt. I just wanted a shirt. I don't know why that's so difficult. I can't find shirts. Anyway, this is the kind of thing you can do. I think it's a really good idea. Also, and I haven't shown them off, and I really, really need to. I have to pee. I don't know if I'm going to make it this long. I bought 2 vintage Jerry Lewis Telethon shirts, and I now own 3. And there's a white one. It made me so happy to wear it. Let's go back here. Really just obsessed with PBS for a second. No Mix said, your cat is 21. I just got 3 of mine back from the clinic. Sent 3 kittens out for adoption as well. Those are very kind of you. Mass Andy said, my girlfriend and I just watched Police Squad. Your comment about Megan Bayne being out of frame reminded me of Al, the tall guy from the show whose face we never saw. Yes, something to consider. Elite Easy said, family matters. Leo said, are you happy AEW never employed JBL so you don't have to sit with him for 2 hours on the pre-show? Love that he's coming to StarCast. Wonder if he'll be attending the brunch. John said, Arquette will be pissed that you didn't mention the Friends thing. David Arquette was on an episode of Blossom. Kyle said, you mentioned on Hey W that you were going to put Megan's OnlyFans link in the description. I'm not ashamed. I say I looked for it in there. Well, that's disgusting. You're going to be ashamed of yourself. Rob said, this fella has a humiliation kink, I swear. Nell said, wait. We're all in on this kidnapping. No snitching, everyone. What are we talking about? Rob said, you're going to forget that that's in there, I bet. I'm going to light that whole fucking microwave on fire. Miss Annie said, please remember what you just put in the microwave before you cook anything. Christine said, he almost lilted into the Maniscalco voice on They're Not Pockets. I don't think I can do it anymore. Molly said, should I go to my 20-year high school reunion? Does anyone you know, did they fuck Elon Musk? Because that would be the only reason I would go to mine would be to ask her those questions. He was lying on top of you with that body. Nail said, you sounded very Canadian when talking about seeing your friend from school. Cam said, you went to school with Grimes? No, not Grimes. One of the other, isn't there like 8 women? Efren said, what was that look on your face when you mentioned, I know what you did last summer? July 18th for the reboot. I never found it scary when it was coming out. I never found it scary in retrospect. There's a bunch of 90s, 2000 horror. The Candyman, I'll put up there too. Final Destination. They just weren't, and I'm not saying they're bad, and I'm not saying you're wrong to like them. They didn't land with me. Probably because I was into other shit. So I always put them in like, I would see the posters for them when I was at the movie theater seeing another weirder movie, like a special one-day showing in the afternoon or something. July 18th for the reboot. Also my birthday. Also Al Snow and Nelson Mandela's birthday, which is why we're all so similar. A Rare B said, I just got here in time to hear Robin Hood Men in Tights 2, and I'm down. Miss Annie said, I've never seen Dead and Loving It. I've heard it's not good. I say it deserves a second watch. It's not bad. I think there's a mistake in the casting of Leslie Nielsen because Mel Brooks plus Leslie Nielsen feels like a hat on a hat to me. I would have rathered, and he was already so into the Naked Gun series already that he couldn't be taken seriously, even though he wasn't doing it seriously enough. I would have much rather, there's a million other Dracula actors, Christopher Walken, for example, but parts of the movie are very good. Peter McNichol is very good. W. Stein said, what are your thoughts on the House of Svengooli's cast? I love Gwen Gooley. I have not heard about this. I'm looking this up right now. Join Nostalgia Ferratu, Gwen Gooley, and Imp as they host a monthly movie after the show. So I'm confused as to, I think this is great. The Sven Squad. And Imp stands for Ignatius Malvolio Frankenstein. I think it's great. I think it's a good idea. I think Svengoolie is, he's the second one, I guess. And he's also getting up there. He hasn't lost his fastball, but he's getting up there. And it's time to broaden. It's time to broaden the horizons. John said, if you think Tony Storm is controversial, I can equal her. Yeah, okay. You're making a great case for yourself. Leo said, is David Arquette in the gauntlet match? Yes, I can absolutely confirm that. Lost my place. Oh, God, so far behind. Red Dot saying Fawlty Towers was the best British comedy to watch on PBS. Harley has texted me that she has made a request that's not going through. And the request is he escaped again, catch him, wet fart on him, he dies, eat him. But the message is not going through. You can see message not sent, edit and try again. And I'm sorry, as per official rules, I'm not allowed to do it. Would be against YouTube's policy. Christine said, I have my PBS tote bag t-shirt and book stand. I got a nice thank you from WFHB. We got better names. Miss Andy said, Fawlty Towers is the best British comedy anywhere. What I love is that, I mean, how many episodes is it? Let me look up how many episodes of Fawlty Towers. He's like 7 episodes. 12. It's 12 fucking episodes, and it's great, and it never stops being great. It never wanes. Speaking of, what episode number of Hey W was that, Christine? Neil said Blossom is the best theme tune of all time. Miss Andy said, I recently started a monthly donation to PBS to give me a membership card. That, I'd be whipping that out at the nightclub. Leo said Vince McMahon had a humiliation kink. Remember when he got covered in poo on TV? But I also feel like, I think he just had a kink for being on television. Because he would also do really powerful things on TV too. He did a lot. He was on television too much, I think ultimately is the point. John said, Blossom, is that Mayim Balak? Yeah, she's a genius. Probably why she was in Big Bang Theory. Leo said, oh my God, Andrew Yang bought WCW. Kyle said, RJ, did you come to Australia in February? If yes, how much did you hate it? I actually liked it. A decent amount. More than I thought I would. It was nice. Probably because we were in Brisbane and there's not much touristy shit there. You just walk around and hang out. I thought the coffee was very good. I thought the walking was nice. I'm sure we'll be going back soon. Christine said Candyman is terrifying. Come on now. I'm not saying it's not terrifying. I'm just saying it didn't resonate with me. Rose said, I like Are You Being Served? So did I. That was transformative. Too many episodes of that, though. Mia said, I hated when Jennifer Love Hewitt said in the movie, what are you waiting for? Miss Annie said, have you seen Dark Match? It's a horror movie that Chris Jericho is a main star. No, but I talked to him about it when I first saw the trailer for it. It's out? Is it out now? It's also Rob's birthday. Who gives a fuck, Nails? W. Stein said, Ty Mello versus Harley Cameron in an Anna Jay on a pole match. And we won't say how she's on there. He said, also my dad's birthday. Okay, everybody calm down. Nobody's that special. Ellie Not So Smelly said, I watched one of the Final Destination films the other night. Those have some of the weirdest deaths. That's the entire premise. Porcelain said, Final Destination franchise is supposed to be scary, but honestly has me hollering with laughter. Yeah, I don't know if it's supposed to be terrifying. Elite Easy E said, it is said that Al Snow is the Nelson Mandela of wrestling. I've said that. That's a me quote, I think. Oh, God. Oh, God, the chat's frozen. I can't scroll. There's so many people. I'm back. I'm back and everything's better. Gonna fucking get through this. I would blame her. I blamed the fucking guy in my microwave. So sorry about that. Elite, I just read that. John said, absolutely love Leslie Nielsen. He was so straight and active that the comedy came naturally. Well, because he wasn't a comedic actor. For the longest time, he was a straight man. See The Reluctant Astronaut with Don Knotts. Cam said, I saw a few of the Final Destination movies and still to this day refuse to drive behind log truck. That one's good. Mia said, don't you think Jurassic Park should have stopped the films after the third one? I mean, I will say the first one is definitely in my top 10 of the greatest movies of all time. And the next 6 do not crack my top 100. So I just think it's the first one did so well that the next one, as long as it does a little bit of that and a little bit of that, they're okay. And then the reboot business, of course, it was natural. But I don't think any of them have been that good since for a million different reasons. And one of them is, once the cat is out of the bag, it's fucking out. They do such a great job of, drawing out the reveals of the dinosaurs in different ways. And then it's like you're starting the sequel where the first one ended. So, what's the point? I understand, once the dinosaurs in San Francisco, you're like, okay. I also think the first one did a really good job at respecting how important and significant dinosaurs are in terms of whatever else is going on in life. Like the first Jurassic World was like these kids who are upset their parents got divorced. It's like, shut the fuck up. If I saw a dinosaur, I would forget that my parents got divorced. It would not be a thought in my head. Do you know what I'm saying? Red Dog said, I miss having cable and being able to watch Svengoolie and MeTV. You watch it online. Neil said, absolutely not. More dinosaurs, make more movies. I love them all. And the effects have not been as good since the first one. Leo said, probably because it has the word fart in it that YouTube would not allow her cut. Good. Apparently, the current Svengoolie has been doing it since 1979. Think about that. Poe Girl with a lovely goldenrod tribute. Thank you. Easy E said, yeah, and the Vincent All McMahons were out there on-screen welcomes. I'm glad Triple H doesn't have that problem. I like when he produces entrances and opens trading cards. Best Handy said, a few great British comedy series only did 2 seasons of 6 episodes each. Fawlty Towers, The Office, and Spaced are example. I mean, compare the British Office to the American Office in terms of just workload. It's ridiculous. Dog Matches on Shudder, said Mass Sanity. Mia said, we are all on that special. RJ said, you weren't the only one born on July 18th. Well, I'm the only one with the fucking show. They all have YouTube. Why don't they set their own shows? This is when I froze, blah, 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 blah. But I'm back now. Neil said it was Harley's wet fart request going through that took us down. Everyone's blaming her, which is a lot. We're back. Ray Rock said the best part of I Know What You Did Last Summer was probably when Leonard Hofstadter got whacked and hooked. Freezy Wampus, said Daryl. Sean said, we're back. That's brisk, baby. Prisma said, can I get an obscure thriller movie recommendation? Yes. What was the name? That's not it. Now I can't remember the name of that movie. Well, I'll say a thriller. What is a thriller? I would say The Black Cat is really good. It's got Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi in it. The 1934 film. There was a 1941 film that is like a comedy. A horror comedy, which is not as good. Black Cat is a 1934 American pre-code horror film. Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, Edgar G. Ulmer directed it. That's as good as we're going to get. Mike said, are you a Matt Berry fan? I binged The Toast of London recently. Damn good, but the American season was lame. I'm sure he's nice and funny. I just have not gotten in. I haven't had a chance to. W. Stein said, I watched Final Destination Bloodlines, and I had a flashback of riding the CN Tower. Neil said, I love old dinosaur movies. I just want to see the latest one this week. I just went to see the latest one this week. Dinosaurs are awesome. Roar. So I guess Nails is an 8-year-old boy. Kyle said, RJ, which are you more sad about never getting the blank is all elite? Oh, am I more sad about never getting the blank is all elite tweet or the Triple H pointing at you photo? I should not need to comment on it. Leo said, do you think it's weird when children have some wrestling Instagram account run by their parents? Yes. W. Stein said, I remember watching Red Dwarf Saturday at midnight on PBS in the 90s. Man, Sandy said, PBS is how I first saw Doctor Who. It's still playing it. I had no idea what I was watching. I was a few years behind. Well, aren't we all? Red Dog said, Joyride is a classic thriller. The late Paul Walker and Steve Zahn. I don't know if Steve Zahn's old enough to make it into classic territory. Porcelain Pumpkin said, I didn't realize we could throw money at you. Here you go. Well, isn't that demoralizing? Mia said, I saw a preview of Celebrity Family Feud and I saw David's face. Are you making a return? No. I did so well on Family Feud. I'm never going to do it again. I was fucking fantastic. The numbers I put up in Fast Money saved our whole fucking team, saved the whole show, because the Paul Rubens team wasn't doing shit. Every time they had a chance to steal, get back in control, they fucked it up. And I wish they were better because I thought they were smart guys. You got Drew Carey, game show vet. Joe Manganiello was not the guy I would put on them. Let me put it that way. I did great. I mean, I'm the reason we won. I put up the fucking numbers. I don't know what else to say. So for David to go back tells you he's ashamed of how he did the first time. Maybe he'll bring his actual family this time, since we've now disowned him. Saeed said, odd question. Who's the greatest left-handed wrestler? Off the top of my head, I recall that Patriot and William Regal. I don't know if people are left-handed or not. Who else is there? I don't know. Miss Sandy said, even if he's the most well-known for Dracula, I think Bela Lugosi's best Universal monster role was Igor. There was a lot. There was a Glenn Strange. There was a lot of people going back and forth. Wasn't he also Frankenstein at one point for some weird... There was hundreds of these fucking films, you know? Leo said, when you're alone and life is making you lonely, not getting you lonely, making you lonely, you can always go. Nell said, Nebraska. Purplefish said, yes, the minister was wonderful and co-created by the writer of the movie Clue, which is also not that good. Pogo said, I love that episode of Family Feud. It's on YouTube. Prisma said, speaking of Family Feud, I don't suppose there's a way to watch your specific episode. Let me see if there is. There are more than enough clips to get a gist of the full episode. There's also websites that let you stream it. It is also the episode that has Nev Schulman versus Jimmy Allen. We were the closers. You open with Nev, you close with Paul Rubens. Yeah, just Google it. David Arquette, Paul Rubens, Family Feud. You'll absolutely find it. Season 7, episode 8 of Celebrity Family Feud. Just want to make that clear that we're celebrities. Leo said also Drew Carey, WWE Hall of Famer. What I love about Drew Carey is that when we talked to him afterwards about doing the Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, he forgot who inducted him. It was Kane. He forgot about Kane, which is the best. Mia said, what's your cheat meal for today? Well, I've already had protein pancakes. And I want to say, the other day, Nug and I made a small trip down to, and he posts it constantly. There's a place downtown Toronto, although they are in retail stores, called Honey's. And they're like a vegan, non-dairy ice cream, but they have every month, some really fucked up flavors. And you can only get them downtown, so we have to make a pilgrimage to that store. Let me show you some flavors that I got. You're going to love this. Oh my God, there's a man in the microwave. Let me see this. Oh my God. This is how much we got because. And then Renee wants some. So I got some for her. Hold on. These will astound you. Oh, this one's fucking already gross. Ugh. 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 Let me get a spoon. This is pickle sorbet. And I'm tasting some of it because it's on the outside already. Ugh. Oh, I hate it. It's like spicy. That's fucked up. Oh my God, that's so fucked up. That's not a thing to do to people. Look, Honey's is great, just not that one. Creamsicle. So much better. Oh my God, this one's called Frosty and Fries. It's like when you dunk your French fries into a chocolate milkshake, it has pieces of French fry in it. With chocolate ice cream with French fries. That's fucking wild. What else? Brookies and cream. Sweet cream ice cream made with caramel and Molly's Brookies. Whoever the fuck Molly is and whatever the fuck a brookie is. Not bad. And this one. Oh, we didn't get the firecracker one now? Bubblegum. Isn't that outstanding? Mia said, where's this place? I need the address. It's Toronto. Honey's Ice Cream. Oh my God. It's gum, but it's cold. That's incredible. W. Stein said, Bela Lugosi was the monster and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. There we go. Portland said, pickle sorbet. Why? Well, look, I tried my best. Renee can have that. She's a sicko. Miss Annie said, on Family Feud, you're introduced as RJ City, but the graphics had RJ Skinner. Was there a specific reason for that? Yes, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Leo said, I love bubblegum flavor. Me too. I love how it's only specific to that. It's bubblegum. This is what it tastes like. It's not, pink berry or something like that. Christine said, I always thought gum was too warm. Mia said, yes, my brother would love this place. I don't think they would ship to the States. Let me put these back now. There's another one here that I wanted to share with all you kids. And it's called Firecrackers. Very patriotic. Red cherry, lemon, and blue raspberry sorbet. Oh, this is good. That's good. And this really tastes like tastes like the Rocket Popsicle. How can you go wrong? I think that's nice. I think that's nice and great. This one is horrendous. I don't know what to say other than it's disgusting. Renee wanted it. I have to hold on to it for her. Ugh, it was awful. And it's all, when shit gets sticky and you gotta wash. Wow. Whew, that was rough. Is RJ an acronym for something? No. Mia said, can you try them in the store? Yes. Nell said, what do you think about Christopher Daniels' eye injury being fake? That's amazing. I don't know. I don't know. I thought it was real. And I know the fucking guy. Are you just pranking your friends? I'm not friends. Miss Annie said, do you prefer bottom-loading freezer to a side-loading one? Which is better when the kitchen's on the left side? Well, it allows for a bigger fridge. So if you're a fridge dominant person, which I think I am, I prefer things to be cool rather than frozen. I think it's nice. Pogo said, I miss those gumball machines. Leo said, did you ever drink Bang Energy? The one with the super creepy cringe CEO. I was like, Mercedes has a Bang Energy sponsorship. I liked Rain better. Bang was too to me. Rain was a little more sleek. I like when they're, remember 5 Gum? Remember how fucking sexy 5 Gum was? And the commercials were like, you're gonna fuck somebody? You should probably chew this. Christine said, I don't have time to drive to Honey's this week. Stop it. So Bubblegum and Firecracker and Creamsicle are only available this month, which is why I had to go get so many. So I didn't want to lose out. And I think Pickle is a holdover from the month before, which I hate it. Molly said, I don't know what happened. I don't know why I keep getting kicked off. Molly said, are you going to give all the broken mugs to sell and whatnot? No, but I want to say, and I think we're almost completely sold out, which is fantastic. I don't know if they can add more seats. Only Comedy is Harley there, and Willow and Sky and Kyle. And it's going to be a nice time for everyone, or from some of us. Rose said, there's a probiotic soda called Cove that has a firecracker flavor. It tastes really good. Because kombucha is spicy. I think they're just framing the taste of kombucha. He said, my mom's freezer was on the bottom. Perfect. Next thing he said, fridge dominant person, a new phrase for me. It's a good icebreaker if you're on a blind date. You a fridge dominant person? Leo said, did you ever drink YJ Singer? I had one, and when I was at WWE, I wanted to, when I was doing WrestleMania After Dark, by the way, the new late night SummerSlam thing with Charlie Hampshire, it's going to be hilarious. If you don't like jokes, you're going to love this. I wanted to do sponsorships for old WWE products that didn't exist anymore. Or be brought to you by Lugs. Or JVC Boombox, Castrol GTX. I wanted to do... Anyway, YJ Singer, top of the fucking list. And one of the guys who was working with me, I guess one of my bosses, was the lead on the YJ Singer account when they were doing it. And they said there's still a warehouse with a bunch of them. YJ Singer is still in... Let me look it up. I think it's still in business. Stacker 2 is still in business. YJ Singer discontinued. Please note, this brand is no longer on the market. This brand is no longer available. Enraged Raspberry, Chronic Cola, Pounding Punch, and Sinful Citrus. And they had the ugliest fucking wasp on the cover. On the can. I don't know why. You can get, on eBay, you can get a YJ Stinger print advertisement, Catch the Buzz. And they were doing a YJ Stinger girl search. This poster says, get ready for this. Meet 20-year-old Katie McClary, winner of the YJ Stinger girl search. With her radiant good looks, rockin' body, and energetic attitude, she blew the competition away. And it's just her going like this, which is fucking wild. Totally a drink for perverts. That's insane. God, what were we all thinking? Leo said, what about poo and wee ice cream with lumps of toilet paper? I don't remember that at all. Mercedes said, can't blame the hotel Wi-Fi today. I can only blame myself. Mia said, double pistachio. Mercedes said, Ico Pro. Yes, exactly. Poe Girl said, I just had to watch a 5 Gum commercial. Dude, a great voice. Sometimes I just jack off to the 5 Gum commercials. Kevin Featherstone said, it's actually promotional consideration paid for by the following. And then it would be like Slim Fast. Ellie said, breaking out the Junkos and the corn CDs. Have you been to Franklin Fountain in Philly? If not, you got to go during the residency. Great ice cream and a 30s theme. Oh my God, no. And I really want to go. Who's going to remember? You can do whatever they want. Who the fuck is alive? Leo said, surprised we didn't sign her at that. Maybe she was also in the Diva Search. Maybe one of the prizes was a pass to round 2 of the Diva Search. David said, looking really toned and fit, RJ. Hashtag always TV ready, which is not a hashtag. Efren said, JVC Kaboombox. So loud, it hurts. What? Why did they think that was good? No wonder the late 90s, early 2000s. No wonder we really imploded by 2001 with shit like that. It was only going to last for so fucking long. Mia said, I emailed the Honeys to see if they can deliver to me. Good luck. Efren said, has Tony Schiavone ever talked to you about his love for Lord Alfred Hayes? No. Tony Schiavone is so well-versed, obviously, in wrestling history, but also in pop culture that I've talked about everything with him so much, and I'm still not close to everything that he's done. He should do a podcast. Leo said, you ever asked Jim Ross about his Skittles endorsements for Raw? No, but I think he did used to eat them. Ellie said, does Taz still play Final Fantasy X2? I think he does. Him, I'll ask. He and I mean, as much as Shimani, there's so much to talk about. Taz and I talk about Final Fantasy all the time. Can't get enough of it. And his thumbs are always hurting because he goes so hard on the controls. Let me see. Let me see if I can look up. What were the weirdest sponsorships in wrestling? Here we go. No. And now we're just into like dude wipes already. Yeah, Taz plays Final Fantasy X2 on SmackDown. He's playing it in the commentary desk, which is something that we should really do. I think it's a great thing. Cybermania 94, the Ultimate Gamers Awards show. It's Jonathan Taylor Thomas introducing Brian Pillman, William Regal, and Leslie Nielsen. And William Regal has a great story about... Oh, God, I can't remember what it was. It was those Barbarian twins. I think they were going to be involved, but they pulled out at the last second. There's something. I really should have written all this down. It's a real shame. Leo said, do you remember the Bloody Roar video games? I don't. Bloody Roar. I don't remember this at all. Is this just like Gothic Street Fighter? More Gothic? These look awful. Everybody has an animal? Is that how this works? You come with a trained animal. So it's like UFC plus cockfighting. Efren, I just fucking read that. So sorry. Miss Hennessy, did you ever see clips of Lord Alfred Hayes as a wrestler? He was pretty good. He was very good. And he earned the right to coast for that last 10 years there. Prisma said, recently watched your Coffee and Underwear with Eddie Kingston. It was a good time. Can't wait till he's back. Nell said, RJ and Taz are totally BFFs. James said, hey, RJ, any Hey W episodes filmed while at Starcast? Last chance to interview Sting? I'm working on some episodes while I'm there. Fucking hang tight. Rob said, RoboCop being on WCW was a strange sponsorship. It made so much sense. Red Dog said, I always wanted a JVC Kaboom box or one of those 80s boom boxes like you saw in the 89 Batman movie museum scene. Just walk around and destroy art. Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Brian Pillman are a pairing I never imagined. It's young JTG. It's prime peak JTG. Also, a 94 Video Game Awards is hilarious. Mike said, who should sponsor AEW tables and ladders? No one. Leo said, surprised AEW hasn't brought back RoboCop to wrestling. I think we've tried. That RoboCop, by the way, wasn't the real RoboCop. Miss Annie said, I'm sure Ole Anderson had no problem working with RoboCop at all. Well, I think for a robotic cop, he was legitimate. For a robot cop, his psychology was sound. So I don't really think it was an issue at all. So let me continue to round up the plugs. First of all, go watch, like, comment, and share the latest AEW with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Go tweet about it. Go post about it. Go everywhere. Tell everyone how fantastic it pretends to be. Number one. Kyle said, has an animal ever been a guest on AEW? Yes, Beast Mortos. Number two, there's no AEW next week because it is all-in week and shit is going to get fucking weird. A live Dynamite on Wednesday. A live Collision on Thursday. Friday, of course, is StarCast. We will be doing the Wrestle Ants brunch, probably at like 10 o'clock. That will be filmed. Special guests. Insanity will abound. Ring of Honor pay-per-view Friday night. Saturday at 1 Eastern is 0 hour. It is 2 hours long. All in the pay-per-view starts at 3 Eastern. We're doing a nooner. It is fucking matinee-hem. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be hot and weird and whatever. And then we go straight to Chicago. Mike said Ole had no problems with anyone. A kind soul he was. Kevin said Ole thought RoboCop would never draw a dime. Porson said, real talk, though, these streams are a really nice place to be. You guys are all so cool. What do you want from us? Hey, guys, we did it. James said, Godspeed and God bless. Jesus. Why can't I speak this morning? Poil Girl said, have a great week, RJ, and everyone. You guys are so much fun. Christine said, see you at StarCast. Ellie said, take care and try to have a good week. Thanks for reminding me. From all of my friends to yours, have a great week, everyone. Let's do a final shot of this, and let's get the fuck out of here. In the meantime, Godspeed.